Kwame, Kwame, Kwame. Something to learn is when you are working for the enemy of the citizens, fire can occur. Things don't just happen, but there is a time for everything, as stated in Ecclesiastes 3. What God has for us will be for us. Shall we begin with some statements made on Capitol Hill and how it has been made clear? God is in control. Hit the like to spread the word.
I represent the governor. I represent the agencies within state, but I serve the rule of law, and I take that distinction very seriously. And I think that the U.S. Attorney General should operate with the same sort of. She shouldn't be loyal to the president, but she should be loyal to the rule of law.
What is the law? Whose law? Many of us answer to a higher law than man's law.
I was born to a Haitian immigrant mother who was not yet naturalized at the time of my birth, so I am a birthright citizen. And I know that there are many like me who've contributed to this country, including more recent birthright citizens. Fundamentally, the language in the 14th Amendment, it goes beyond just the topic of birthright citizenship. The language in the 14th Amendment is plain.
Following the Civil War, Congress submitted to the states 3 amendments as part of its Reconstruction program to guarantee equal civil and legal rights to Black citizens. A major provision of the 14th Amendment was to grant citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, thereby granting citizenship to formerly enslaved people. It is plain, but some kind of way, it always take a person to twist it, misconstrue it, and make it out to be different than its intent. Playing on words don't make it change the reality.
And this was one of our very first lawsuits. And to the extent that the administration is going to violate a constitutional amendment that is so clear in its language.
All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. The part they are neglecting, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. The phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof refers to individuals or entities that are under the legal authority of a particular government or legal system. In the context of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, it establishes that individuals born in the U.S. are citizens, provided they are subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, meaning they owe allegiance to it and are not under the jurisdiction of any foreign power. This phrase excludes certain groups, such as members of Native American tribes, from U.S. jurisdiction. Essentially, being subject to the jurisdiction means that a legal entity, like a court or government, has the right to enforce its laws against a person.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for fighting for all Americans. Americans are finally getting what they voted for. No longer will we have rogue judges striking down President Trump's policies across the entire nation. No longer. Today, in the 6-3 opinion, Justice Barrett correctly holds that the district court lacks authority to enter nationwide or universal injunctions. These lawless injunctions gave relief to everyone in the world instead of the parties before the court. As the Supreme Court held today, they turned district courts into the imperial judiciary. Active liberal judges have used these injunctions to block virtually all of President Trump's policies. To put this in perspective, there are 94 federal judicial districts. 5 of those districts throughout this country held 35 of the nationwide injunctions. Think about that. 94 districts and 35 out of the 40 opinions with nationwide injunctions came from 5 liberal districts in this country. No longer. No longer.
We can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious.
You see 3 legal professionals before you. But as he is proclaiming to be a law professional, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, cannot be excluded, which is what appears to be what is happening here. Deportation could be knocking at his door, and he can thank Pritzker for pushing this agenda.
Which of the 14th Amendment is clear: if you're born here, you're a citizen here.
Slow your roll, because that's not all of the victory from today's ruling. Also, most nationwide injunctions were ruled unconstitutional. The birthright citizenship ban is now in effect, and parents have the right to back out of their own kids being indoctrinated with gay propaganda in public schools. Citizens pay for this education for their kids, and states can require age verification for P-sites. Let's make America godly again in the schools and the courts. And the people said,
Amen.